Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hard criminal with no retreat. Failures never taste the sweet. Science lessons learned in flight. Journey on through endless night.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
For the stars, we aim so high. The projected kiss goodbye. For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Rocket launch with hope so grand. EJ's got the master plan.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
You see the tune. Orbit dreams won't be delayed. Lessons learned from missions made. Purple tide will forge a path to the stars beyond this path. For the stars, we aim so high. The projected kiss goodbye.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light.
Okay, sound checking, sound checking. 1, 2. How does this sound? How does this sound? Does it sound like I'm reverberating like crazy? Sound good? Sound bad? Good? All right, I'll take it. All right. Now, here, let's try the main screen then. Here, let's take that off. Is this is this working? Because I'm in a hotel room. Not bad. Good. Yellow. Yeah.
This is space. I'm in
Yeah,
space.
it's not great. It's not great. But yeah. We are in a hotel. Yeah. We have the Tude right here. Tude. We are hotel maxing right now. We're hotel maxing right now. And this is the little low volume. All right, hold on.
Oh, this
Oh,
is space.
jeez.
I'm in space.
The noogies. Give me 1 second. Let me just get this all dialed in here. Yeah. All right, here we go. There we go. We should be able to turn that up. That should be a little better now.
Discovery,
How about
go at throttle
How
up.
about now? How about 555? How about now? How about now? That should be a lot better. What are we all doing here? Well, I said I would stream when I was down here, so here I am. But I wanted to show you something real quick. Blue Origin is live. All right, cool. Blue Origin is live, or... Uh-oh, look at that. Look at that. It looks like just a dark thing with some blinking lights. It looks like a dark thing with some blinking lights, but I can tell you it's a dark thing with some blinking lights. That's Starbase. Yeah, I can see it right out the window over there. Like here. It's not gonna look very good, but here, ready? See it out the window? Isn't that neat? I have maybe jury rigged this hotel room to work. Right? Like it's just a little studio. I totally didn't just take the TV and allow it to be able to screen capture like that. How's the weather? It's fine.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, all right. So hopefully we see some Blorgen action here. We have a really nice connection up here. Don't use a UV. Yep. Okay. I thought you were wrestling Jack for the top bunk. I already did that and I already won. No, they gave me my own bed. That means they really like me or they don't like me. So yeah, we're in one of the hotels here. Are you gonna get a massive low taper fade to match Starship's new low taper fade? Starship does low tile fade. Okay, it's massive. It's massive. You must snore, probably. Audio may be better than usual. That doesn't bode well for me. Did you realize, Ben, that NASA's WB-57 is a low taper plane? Yeah, did you realize that? When did you get down there? Sometime over the weekend. Sometime between now and the last
Discovery,
stream.
go at throttle up.
Did someone get a picture of you when you first saw it? No. No, that didn't happen, but it was something along the lines of, yeah, that's not small. That's not small at all.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Dino, 97-month resub. Lick the stamp and send it. Diagonalizer tier 2, 42-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, that is a large piece of equipment. I was just, when you first saw Starship, were you blinded by its majesty? Blinded, awed, dumbstruck. When are you going to Starbase? Starbase is like right there. It's like right there. Look. Pi, somebody hasn't been following in the Discord. Here. Can you guys imagine if Pi Guy had a low taper fade? Does... Here, hold up. Pi, ready? Does that answer your question? Yeah. Oh, what's that? What is this? What is that? Yeah. Enjoy it. I have to go mod. All right, man. Get her done. Make sure they don't eat Jack alive over there. Yeah, I've seen it, dude. It's
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's big. It's pretty dang cool. That's the Flight 1 victim. Yep. Gotta go bald for the high speed and low drag. Yeah, it's massive, dude. Now we know how you're getting back. Yeah. No, that van is unsavable. Yep. So Blues Cast they're live, but do we have music? Hold on, let me see. It's awfully loud. You know, I was in the hotel room and I thought about, where can you get this shirt? The Kerbal Space Academy shirt? What shirt? What are you talking about? Oh. They don't, this shirt is over a decade old, almost. I don't think DOS has made this in a long time, dude. EJ, what are you doing at Starbase? Launches in Florida. Yeah, I didn't get the memo. Jack, I'd rather see the rocket with... Oh my gosh. I was about to say, I'd really rather see the rocket with the low taper fade. Can you imagine if rockets had a low taper fade? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? If rockets had a why is that funny? That's not funny at all. It's not, the meme doesn't stop. Low taper playing, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad. Fade maxing. We are fade maxing, dude. We're fade maxing. I know, I love it. Scooby-Doo toilets. Let's go. Did you do a Home Alone 2 and get on the wrong plane? Well, you know, Ethan, at one point, the plan was to, you know, like cover New Glenn and then get on a plane and then fly down to Starbase, but they screwed that up pretty bad. Stop saying maxing. No, we're not doing that at all. Here. You know what we are going to do? Look at. You're looking at a live view of the launch site. It's just the wrong one. It's the wrong launch site, but you know, whatever. I went to the wrong place. That's par for the course, dude. It's par for the course, you know, for me. Does it feel even bigger there? Well, it is. That is not a small vehicle. But also, New Glenn's is not small. I'm just waiting for this cast to go because I am extraordinarily tired. I have not slept in a long time. Rumor has that Joey B is out at Vandenberg hoping to see BONG. Shouldn't Tower 2 have his own set of lights? They're not hooked up yet, Nate. Yeah, they're not hooked up yet. How bouncy is the bed? I don't know. It's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a high tapered bed. God. You know, it would be like really cool if they went live. That would be really neat. Any idea on when launch tonight? The cast is a little far behind. They're supposed to launch at 1, dude. They're supposed to launch in 33 minutes. Once again, just on a side note, I apologize for the terrible lighting. I literally took lamps from the rest of this hotel room and put them in here, and this is the best lighting that I could come up with. Everything in the hotel room is very neutrally lit. So at least it's even, okay? At least it's even. It's even lighting, okay? It's not bad, it's just dark. Yeah. You look fine? All right, cool. Cool. Because it looks ridiculous in here right now. The camera is making it look a lot nicer than it actually is. Do we know why it's a night launch? Because Blue Origin hates you. And might even hate me too. I don't know why they wanted to do this now, dude. But it's alright. NSF need to have their own broadcasting trucks. I don't understand. What do you think you're looking at when you see Starbase Live, W? Just out of genuine curiosity, what do you think those cameras are? Hey Nick, 34-month resub. There was a lot of bits at the beginning of the stream too. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If we take your video now and your old, very blue camera, we might be able to get a perfect image out of the combination. All right. Let's see what you got.
Welcome, everyone. It is a beautiful day to launch our new rocket. Denise, thank you
It's
so
not
much for joining me.
daytime.
Thank you, Ariane. I can't believe we're here
not
together.
daytime.
You know, so many years of hard work from across all the teams at Blue Origin to bring us here today. And a warm welcome to everyone watching.
Yes, Admiral.
I've been at Blue Origin for 4 years, and I just got to say, I am so thrilled to be here.
You were speaking my language, girl. Now, Denise, you're one of our principal engineers on the New Glenn program. I'm looking forward to your insider perspective as we go through launch. What do you think you're most looking forward to tonight?
So many things, but I think for me, hands down, it's going to be the noise. You know, New Glenn is just so big.
No one cares
Those
where you live,
BE4
W.
engines are so powerful, and it's so close to us. I really think that people all up and down
It's
the
not where the
Cape
rocket
and
is.
Cocoa Beach are going to see something brand new today. And yep, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to bring some insider technical content as we go. You know, in my
We
role
are
at
Blue
Blue as the
Origin.
principal contamination control engineer on the New Glenn team,
And my
I'm
name,
going to try to
Jeff.
provide all those cool details that folks might want to know.
It's great to have you with me today. Thanks so much. You've been one
I'm
of
just
many
kidding,
team
W. I
members
love you,
working
man.
extremely hard on this vehicle, so this is a big day for you and the team.
Where is this,
And
Cape?
What a day for you.
No,
Ariane.
I-
Congratulations on your baby girl. Welcome back from maternity leave.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here for New Glenn's first launch. Absolutely no way I would miss this. I had my beautiful baby girl just a couple months back, and now I feel like I'm back for the birth of my other baby back here, New Glenn. But before we get in a little too deep into the show, I do want to take a moment to acknowledge the devastating fires in California. We hope that everybody remains safe, and we want to send our deep appreciation for the incredible work of the firefighters and emergency workers battling these fires and caring for so many people. We at Blue actually have a few hundred employees in the great state of California, many at the center of it all.
We are Team Blue, and our hearts are with you during this difficult time.
Well said. Now, with that, let's
I'm all
turn
right.
our attention to
I'm all
the
right.
star of the show today, New Glenn, standing proud on the launch tower just a few miles away at Launch Complex 36.
There it is,
Okay.
standing tall.
Oh, that's what I came to
All around the
see.
pad, so we're going to get
Look
some
at this.
great views today.
That rocket looks good.
It
All
really
right.
does.
Why don't you start,
Right,
Denise,
you are,
by giving
Ken.
us a tour of the vehicle?
Well, New Glenn is Blue Origin's next generation orbital class rocket, and it's built on a reusable first stage.
And speaking of reusability, let's look at the aft section there of New Glenn. One of the things
Dad
that
aft.
is critical to New Glenn, of course, because it's a reusable vehicle, is the landing gear that's housed in the aft section there.
So there's actually 6 landing legs on that aft section, and they're actually going to deploy right before it lands.
So
And
why
unlike
is the
New
camera
Shepard,
tilting?
Discovery,
our
go at throttle
suborbital
up.
vehicle,
Hey, all right.
New Glenn's booster is going to land
Why was
out
the
at
camera
sea.
tilting up if
New
they said
Glenn
look
is going
down
to
at
launch
the...
vertically
All right.
here at the Cape. It'll then
all
arc
right.
over the Atlantic on its way to orbit.
No, they're
The
not
first
just
stage
space.
is then going to maneuver its
Hey,
way
Bacon, what's
back
up,
to
buddy?
Earth onto a landing platform that's actually positioned in the Atlantic Ocean.
It's on
Now,
fire,
the
yo.
first stage booster is powered by 7 BE4 engines, and these are really powerful engines. Each one is capable of over 500,000 pounds of thrust each. So when we combine all 7,
Pounds.
we're talking about
Yeah,
a launch
baby.
vehicle with a
Let's
thrust
go.
at liftoff of nearly 4 million pounds.
3.85 million to be exact. Got to make sure our engineers, out there don't call us out. Got to get the sig figs right. But that's just the first stage. And
Discovery,
as the
go at
first
throttle up.
stage is busy landing
Why is
back
it not
on Earth,
pointy?
meanwhile, the second stage is
It's
going
not
to
pointy
continue
because
to
it's got
orbit.
that
Just
low
for
taper
a
fairing, dude.
Quick intro for
Massive.
those that are not,
See?
really into rockets. When we talk about stages, basically what we're doing is we stack one rocket
I haven't
on
slept
top
in
of
a
the
long
other.
time,
Stage
okay?
1, stage 2.
Just leave me
Stage 2
alone.
is the bottom. Stage 1 is the... Stage 1 is the bottom. Stage 2 is the top.
Correct, yeah. So stage 2 is actually what's sitting right there on top of the booster on the
Glenn
pad.
maxing.
And what's
We are
really
Glenn
unique
maxing
about
right
the
now,
second
dude.
stage is that it's powered by 2 BE3Us. Now, these are actually an upgraded
How many hours
design
awake?
based on the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen engines that power New Shepard.
And then, of course,
No, what?
there's the
No.
crown of the vehicle, if you will, the payload fairing on top.
Okay, they said look at the bottom of the rocket. They showed the top of the rocket. Then they said, okay, there you go. Then they said look at the top of the rocket. Then they showed the bottom of the rocket. What are you doing? What are you doing? We are bong maxing right now. Blue Origin, New Glenn, Bonglins. Where's their launch countdown timer? they should be at 23 minutes out from launch. Pounds is not a real unit. Newton is a real unit. Yeah. Where you live doesn't exist here. Okay. In Florida, where they are. That's the start of the 3-hour window. Oh,
Bringing us all
Thanks,
the
Jules.
action. So, first, I would like to bring in my teammate Maggie McNeese from our government team in DC. She's standing near Mission Control now. Maggie, you there?
Hey, Ariane. Hey, Denise. We really doing this?
This is happening. We are definitely here at launch day, and you have to be feeling some of the same tingles we are down here. Why don't you situate us to where you are standing up there? What's going on? What is the vibe up there?
The vibes are impeccable. I am here by Mission Control. Right down the hallway, as you said before, we've got our launch control. In these rooms are our engineering teams and operators who are going to go ahead and be, looking at all
What's
of
the vibe?
The vehicles,
Guys,
to give us our
what's
best chance of success today.
Now, we've got a pretty special assignment for you there, Maggie.
The prop is already loaded,
We're
Ziza.
going to have you reporting right up there through the launch to keep us plugged in behind the scenes. What are you looking forward to sharing with us today?
A lot. I'm really, really looking forward to making sure that you know what's going on in these rooms, take you through some of the personalities we've got inside, how it all works. If there are a couple anomalies, we'll work through those together. It's going to be a great time for you.
Don't say that. What are you doing? Don't say that.
So much, Maggie.
Stop
We're
it.
Grateful to have you up there and keeping us connected. And
Are you in a
we're gonna pack
hotel?
you in as we go. Now, let's check in with our broader blue team. Our employees in Florida today are getting a close-up.
See, the thing is, I'm in a hotel, but I went to the wrong space center. Okay, I went to the wrong. Can you believe that? I went to the wrong space center. I went to the wrong one. I mean, I'm in Texas. Like, jeez, I went to the wrong one, dude. Sorry about that. Sorry. So, just cover it from here.
Oh my
It's fine.
God, I love the energy. Talk to us. Tell me about the scene. What you seeing? What's the view? Talk to us.
We are 6 miles away as the crow flies to Launch Complex 36. It's pandemonium here. New Glenn is perfectly viewed in the distance, and we are here to support at Cars Park. We're joined by Space Coast residents. We're joined by family members, team members. This is really an exciting moment for Team Blue.
Eddie, now you're a familiar face across Blue Origin. You've got a front row seat at Blue watching this rocket go from design to build to test.
It hasn't
What's
done
going through your head
anything
right
yet.
now?
It's just.
It's a collective sense of anticipation. Everyone here has done everything that they need to do to the best of their ability. Their family members
Dude.
have
All right.
sacrificed for them to
All
be
right.
here
All right. No.
at this
No.
moment at New Glenn 1.
Dude.
And we have one.
Look at all the people's eyes. All these people are looking over there somewhere. They're looking that way. They're looking that way at somebody that's telling them to cheer. Am I incorrect in that? Somebody please go back in that VOD. Please tell me I'm wrong. Because they're all just looking over there.
Space
And they're just
hardware is
cheering.
a tradition at Blue. From the New Shepard propulsion module panels to the crew capsule base heat shield, those engines on New Glenn have our signatures.
Discovery,
Now
go
the
ahead.
nice thing about those 7-meter fairings that are over 60 feet tall is that it can fit the signatures of more than 10,000 employees that currently call Blue Origin home. And so that's what we're sending to space in addition to the hardware. And this team right here, they made it happen.
Well, thank you, Eddie. Can't wait to check in with you again shortly. You keep the Team Blue pumped down that, but I have a feeling you're not going to have too many troubles.
Maybe you're right, Squall.
Discovery,
Who knows?
throttle up.
To be here, thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. Well,
This
I look
hotel room
forward
needs to be
what
the new
both
background?
Eddie and Maggie
Why?
can bring to the show. Let's take a little deeper dive into the mission today.
So there is a lot. Right now, we are tracking a number of technical milestones between now and liftoff. And then
Is it?
there's gonna
No,
be
it's a nice
another
hotel room.
set
Dude,
of critical
it's great.
in-flight milestones once we're underway. Now, we do want to be very clear about our objectives today. This is New Glenn's first flight, and we prepared rigorously for it. But no amount of ground testing or mission simulation is a replacement for flying this rocket in space.
Well put. Our key objective today is to reach
I'm gonna get off the
orbit
screen for a second.
safely. Anything
Discovery,
beyond
go
that
at
is
throttle up.
icing on the cake,
Hey, Zay.
bonus points, cherries on Sundays, whatever you want to call it. We know that landing the booster on the first try offshore in the Atlantic is ambitious, but you can't win if you don't try, and we are going for it tonight. And no matter what happens, we are going to learn, refine, apply that knowledge to our next launch, both, of course, in the design of the vehicle, but also into the operations. And about that booster, again, yes, we are going for it. New Shepard landed on only its second attempt in November of 2015. I happened to be on the ground for that in West Texas back in the day, and it was wild. And man, I can't wait to see if we can make some more history here with New Glenn, which our booster today has been named with a pretty cool name. You wanna tell us that?
Sure is. Our booster's named, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Classic 90s movie reference there for all you Jim Carrey fans. But let's level set here. You think we're going to stick the landing? Like if you were a betting
yes.
lady in Las Vegas
Classic
this evening?
90s movie.
So we think it's possible. You know, the truth is that this is an enormous goal. We're trying to land a giant building-sized vehicle that's plummeting down from space. There's just so much complex engineering that goes into this. But you know, it's time that we try it for real. And
It is a
today
class. She's
that
not
day.
wrong.
Let's do it. Let's put it to work. We'll see how it performs. But hey, no matter what happens, we're going to learn a ton, get loads of data, and apply it to NG2 and beyond. Now, that's
Oh, man, look at
if
that
we
thing.
land this
What a
thing, I'm going
tank.
to lose my mind.
You and me both.
Okay, good. Just setting expectations for everybody on this one. Now, some other business to discuss this evening is the payload we have on board. We have early technology demonstration
just
on
look
board
at it?
for Blue Ring. And as mentioned before, it is something that I'm very excited about because it's related to the program that I help lead here at Blue Origin. There it is on the left side of your screen there, sitting nice and ready to go in the payload fairing. But to be clear, what you're looking at, this is
pretty
not
cool that we
Blue
got a
Ring
fairing shot
itself.
when it's still on the
This
pad.
is not the Blue Ring spacecraft itself. It is a pathfinder for the Blue Ring vehicle. And so the vehicle, the Blue Ring vehicle that we are building currently employs a lot of the same
Discovery, go at throttle
technologies
up.
and capabilities that are put in that vehicle that you see on the left of your screen. And today we are going to validate the communication capabilities from orbit
It
to
was
the ground.
crazy, Bareback.
Now,
We
it's
talk
also
more about that
worth
later, though.
noting that today's payload is non-separating. So it's going to actually stay attached to the second stage throughout the mission as it powers on and it begins collecting data. For the broader system we're building, for the Blue Ring itself, you can think of Blue Ring as a utility vehicle, a multi-tool, or kind of a mobile service station that we can use to run errands around the solar system. Today, on this mission, it's a super cool pathfinder for that vehicle that will be flying. We have some exciting details to share a little later on. We're going to get way in depth on the exact technology that we're testing today, as well as
Dude,
Blue
look at
Ring.
that shot.
But I'll tell you right
What
now,
a
I'm
vehicle.
super excited about not just the launch, but the payload, and for both, you know, the New Glenn team and the Blue Ring team. So much work has come together today. And that's why today is such a big deal. We're going to be laying the foundation of our mission to build a road to space for the benefit of Earth.
Such an exciting launch and just so much to aim for.
Guys, the Comet, I like it. I like that. So the interstage right there, they it was supposed to be painted, but they didn't paint it. So that's their thermal protection system. They engineered kind of a new kind of concoction here for the TPS on the engine section and on the interstage and the actuators too, the fins. I think it looks sick. I think it looks real good.
Reinvest back into New Glenn for New Glenn 2 and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. And that data is really going to be critical for our engineers and our ability to evolve New Glenn into a fully operational program. You know, with New Shepard, we've flown 28 missions so far, and we've sent over 40 astronauts to space. And while we consider that system fully operational, that flight data that we get after every mission helps our engineers fine-tune the system. It helps us refine our procedures, reduces the overall time between launches, and perhaps most important of all, it significantly drives down the cost of spaceflight.
And we
Probably
have learned
not, Pansy.
so much as New Shepard has progressed. And by the way, those learnings all come into play on New Glenn.
A lot,
We've integrated
Tessa.
a lot of design and operational lessons from New Shepard into New Glenn. So, and speaking of lessons learned from New Shepard, there's that recurring Blue Origin theme of reusability. New Shepard has, with its booster, of course, one that lands, right? New Glenn, the same deal. But let's point out one big difference. New Shepard
Discovery,
lands on a
go at
landing
throttle up.
pad in the desert, while New Glenn's landing pad is out in the Atlantic Ocean. I should take a moment to note, you know, the ocean, the seas out there have been quite rough for the last several days. So, you know, that is why we took a little bit of extra time to get a really good chance of landing this booster tonight. So a big kudos to our team that is out there operating the Jacqueline. They have been rocking and rolling it.
Okay, guys. So at T-minus 10 minutes, I'm going to run ads here. We're about T-minus 10 minutes out. We're pretty close. So I'm going to run the ads so you guys don't get ads during the launch. Okay? So we'll run them now. It's supposed to go at the top of the hour, but that's just when the window opens. So I mean, I don't know, man. Should we do it? There's really not a countdown, but maybe we'll wait. Dudes, maybe we'll wait until we'll wait until the until we see a countdown. Yeah, we'll wait until the countdown. It'd be nice if it goes at 1. I don't want to be up until 4. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yep. Yeah, me too. Very much me too. Anyway, let's see what we got. What are they blorgening about?
Regardless of what happens. And there's a live shot, a beautiful landing pad there with our Blue Origin feather, just waiting to just welcome home a rocket from space. No big deal.
What merch you got back there?
After that booster lands on the Jacqueline, the vessel
Don't worry
is
about
going
it.
to transport the booster back to our facilities
about
here at Rocket Park. We're going to do an
Don't worry about it.
inspection before flying again. And this is, of course, very important because
You've heard us sing this tune before. Reusable vehicles are how we will radically reduce the cost of access to space. Now, I hope
Your
you're
boy's
all
getting a little tired.
out there getting a sense of the set pieces here that make up today's launch. We've got the vehicle itself, we've got the ground systems, but we've also got the sea-based systems. And of course, all of the people, the teammates.
Bong. Yeah, that's
across
fine,
the
XO. We
Cape
can do
and
that.
the U.S., frankly, that are working hard to get us to our launch. Now, let's take a moment and toss to New Glenn on the pad as we make our way towards the very first orbital flight for Blue Origin.
Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, we're 40 minutes out till the launch, the inaugural launch of the New Glenn rocket. We're 40 minutes out. Yeah. Yep. That's where it's at, man. That's what we're doing. Yep. We're here. We're here for it. Are they really going to dead air the stream for 39 minutes? You know what? Actually, you know what? I'm okay with this. Look at that thing. Look at that monster. Guys, that thing is it's got a 7-meter core diameter. So it's about 22, 23 feet across. It's not a small vehicle. The transporter erector is righteous too. Yeah, Caveman, it's great. 7 meters seems a little small. Oh, okay, Arg. Fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Prepare to fast forward. Fast forwarding,
Welcome
sir.
back, everybody.
Oh.
We are officially at T-minus 38 minutes and
I was gonna fast
57
forward,
but-
seconds to go until
not.
launch, our first launch of New Glenn. I should note that you, as
Long
we
time
go
ago,
along
Bren.
here,
2017.
you might see our clock bounce around a little bit. That's just our teams getting aligned and making sure that by the time we get down to 0, everybody's set and ready to go. But talking about ready to go, Denise, why don't you give us an update on the vehicle and its preparedness?
Absolutely. So our team has already completed fueling up New Glenn's propellant tanks
Whoa.
for both our first stage and our second stage. We are now entering the next step, which is called propellant conditioning. This is, of course, a crucial step because we need to make sure that those propellants are at the right temperatures and at the right pressures. We also need to manage pressure. You might have noticed that there's a lot of excess gases that are being vented from our first stage and our second stage. This is because our cryogenic propellants are so cold that they're experiencing something called a boil-off. So we are venting all that excess gas to prevent buildup and overpressurization. You may have also noticed on your screen that we have the flame stacks, or what we lovingly call the tiki torches. That's there as a safety mechanism to make sure that we are burning all that flammable oxygen and hydrogen, protecting New Glenn and our launch pad. So that is where we are right now. We'll keep tracking progress as we make our way to terminal count.
Thank you very much. We will look forward to the next update on the team and the rocket there. Now, we mentioned that we're sitting in the rocket factory
It's
here.
not gonna happen,
Blue
Yella.
Origin's mission control is right upstairs, right above our head. And we're very close
No,
to
Yarg, first
where
stage
the
is
rocket is
LNG.
itself. So maybe if you zoom out a little bit, Denise, you can give us a sense from a geography-wise where we're sitting.
We are super close. So behind me, I have a map of Florida. You can see very clearly here we have Merritt Island and Cape Canaveral. If you go ahead and zoom in, I'll show you where we are right now. We are right now at Blue Origin's Rocket Park.
Really,
This is
Rage?
where New Glenn is built, integrated, tested.
Doesn't look
This is
like
where
it to
we're
me.
coming in live from our studio. And just a short 8 miles away, we have LC-36, where New Glenn is standing proudly, waiting for its first launch.
It don't look like that to me, dude. You know why? Oh, wait. Ready? Oh, look at that. Ah, you can't see it. Crap. Who shut off the camera? Here, we'll do this way. Look, it's right out there. Whoop. See the blinkiness out there? Blink. Blink.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, baby. I love LAMP. Do you love LAMP? I love LAMP. Yeah, it's right out there. I can actually just lean there and I can see it. It's still stacked from what I can. It's dark. I could fall into a precipice. EJception to the left. What? What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. I don't know. Here, no. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this great New Glenn's. Oh, look, this coverage is great, isn't it? Isn't it awesome?
Just about any launch system that takes off from the Cape, and it gets
And it was
loud.
below the
We
waist,
think this
too.
one for New
I get to
Glenn may be one of the loudest
dead
ever.
knuckle all
One,
you.
The pad is just so close to Rocket Park, but also there's just the enormous
Yeah,
size
Linux,
and
we got the
power
memo.
of those
We got the
7
memo.
first stage BE4 engines.
And we have been talking about that rumble for years, and I cannot wait. As a
Tessa didn't
California
get it.
girl who has lived through a couple of earthquakes, I am ready for this one. This is going to be awesome. Now, you mentioned a second ago, it's just so unique that the public is going to get such a great view of New Glenn launches, especially from viewpoints like, Jetty Park, Port Canaveral, Cocoa Beach. So many people gather to watch launches from these spots
earthquakes
already.
kill
And,
people,
well,
right?
I mean, look, this is a live view. If you're sitting there right now in Cocoa Beach, shout out to you guys. Probably sitting in a nice lawn
my
chair
God.
with a cold beverage in your hand. That's what I'd be doing if I weren't here behind the desk with you, Denise. You guys are going to get to see and feel this launch with an insane view. So,
I don't know,
other than
Trojan.
maybe
What are
tripping
these
some
people
tsunami
doing?
warnings, y'all are going to have a great evening.
There really is nothing
What,
better.
what is
than
it
a
with this lady in
beach-sized
natural
rocket
disasters? Tsunamis,
Well, and weather
hurricanes,
permitting, it's not just people down here in
earthquakes,
Florida.
fires? Like,
People in the region, kind of the southeast region of the U.S.
what are you
see
doing?
this
Stop
image
talking
right
about
here.
natural
Look, that's all the way
disasters.
as far north as North Carolina, several states north, are going to be able to see this launch during
Oh my
different phases
God.
of flight based on where you are. So a little bit of a guide here.
She's
If you
mentioning
guys are all
every one
still
of them.
up, it's a bit late here on the East Coast, but this is an exciting launch. So shout out to you guys as well that are watching live from the East Coast. All right, everybody, we're at T-minus 33 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
Yeah,
And
Lazy, it's
counting
going to be
down
awesome.
to our launch window opening at T-minus 0 for New Glenn's first launch. Denise, I cannot believe I'm saying that. We've been talking about this such a long time. It's just wild.
Right, Shach?
Now, again, this is our first
The heck,
flight.
man?
We have prepared rigorously for it.
Oh,
but
dude,
I
look
wanna
at that
reiterate,
thing.
Our
Beast.
key objective today is to reach orbit safely. That in itself is a big deal. And anything beyond
Okay. Okay. At least I still have control over the communications. Dude, that thing is, she's a beast.
Discovery, go at
That's the
throttle up.
first stage. But so okay, before they started the stream, they're both the tanks are topped per the timeline. They were all topped off. I have the mission timeline here. I'm just gonna make sure that I have it right here before we go. They did tanking a little while ago. Where is it? I saved it, don't worry. I bookmarked it. All right, so where are we at? We're T-minus 32 minutes. So propellant load was complete at T-minus
Discovery,
1
go
hour,
at throttle up.
right? So there's going to be a planned 30-minute hold at T-minus 20 minutes for a weather check. T-minus 10 will give you a go, no-go poll, and then they have another planned hold at T-minus 4. Terminal count begins at T-minus 4 minutes. Would you just look at it? Chris, what's going on, buddy? Here, I'm going down here. It's playing KSP1 for the first try today. Oh, look at that. It went right up onto the stream. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, totally didn't see that coming. Would you just look at it? You did it to the whole stream. Now the whole stream hates you. Eddie, that's awful. That's awful, dude. I'm way too tired to be annoyed at that. It's pretty funny, actually. Okay. Yeah, so we got a lot of planned holds here in this built into this count. We're about a half hour out. But here, let's cut their audio back in and see.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Oh yeah, let's listen to this. We want to listen to this.
amazing opportunity. This is just a day or two ago. And I don't know, I just look at this video and I get tingles. It was incredible to be at the base and looking at what our team has worked on for such a long time. There you see the flame trench. Smoke and fire, baby. That's what we're looking for tonight.
I get chills every time I watch that. I mean, that was just so incredible. That's not something that I will likely forget.
She said the thing. Did you see that? That's pretty cool.
When you're standing right next to it.
Yeah. Well, that tall rocket is going to space tonight. And you all are going to be here to watch and cheer on with us.
No, I want to listen to it, Apollo. It's important.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll give you a key differences between
we got to listen to the audio for
others that have lifted off from this pad in the past.
Continuity.
I think there's another key thing about New Glenn,
it's important
and it really is that reusability aspect. So while the scale of New Glenn is truly remarkable, I mean, this rocket is built for big things, supersized, with an incredible lift capability. But to do that in a way that's sustainable,
I blame Eddie. It's his fault.
Hardware, I think that for me is the biggest innovation for New Glenn.
100%. reusability.
I'm not there,
is
Bob. I went to
such
the
a
wrong
critical
space center.
component of
Sorry.
reducing the costs of future access to space. You
Nope,
just can't
Mivans.
say
I
enough
don't know, maybe.
how important reusability is.
And so New Glenn also has that second stage rocket, right? We talked about the first stage and the second stage. And, you know, rocket fans know this, but just like Saturn V or other big launchers, rockets fly in the first stage and the second stage with the job of the first stage,
Other
or
big
sometimes what we
launchers.
call the booster, to lift the vehicle from Earth up to space. The stages will then separate, and it's the second stage that powers our payload into orbit.
So here you see a cool, again, another cool overlay. Oh, you saw it just a moment ago of the Saturn V rocket. I mean, we are just about the same height, like, and the power of the two vehicles and the significance to be compared to that is amazing.
Where are you getting the
And
info
you
on
know
the
what?
plan holds?
Our game plan, like Saturn V,
Places.
our game plan is to use New Glenn to
I
go to
know-
the moon too.
I know
I
people.
hope you host that webcast with me too on that one.
too.
Coming here shortly. So that's our orbital rocket in a nutshell. Now, while we've got a couple minutes to go here, we're at
Prank
T-minus 28
maxing.
minutes to go
Shut up.
until New Glenn's first launch. Why don't we check in with our teammates over at Cars Park? Eddie, you there?
Yeah, hey Ariane, we're here at Cars Park. We're less than 6 miles as the crow flies to Launch Complex 36. We can see a great view of New Glenn standing 320 feet tall. The two vehicle access towers, one of the largest water towers in the world, and we are ready. Aren't we ready, team?
Eddie, man, you have quite the crowd down there, and I feel like it's grown
Discovery,
exponentially
go on
since we
throttle up.
saw you last. And not just current employees, but their kids and future Blue Origin employees are all out there psyched for this first
We've
flight.
got our New Glenn patch.
What are you hearing the employees talk about?
So listen, we're looking forward to the rumble of the BE4 engine. We're going to hear it. We're looking forward to the blue streak across the dark sky. And we've got, you know, the flags, the emblems, the swag. We're very proud to be here. We're very proud to be sharing this moment with our community.
Okay.
Right? The word that everybody keeps using tonight is grateful. How grateful we are to be here, how grateful we are for each other, and how grateful we are for the Space Coast that has accepted us.
So a lot of these folks have day jobs here in the factory.
Ah, yes,
and
day
you're not far
jobs.
from us, but
Discovery, go and throttle up.
describe the view you're getting. How is it different from what people will see from here at Rocket Park?
Yeah, we've got an unencumbered view of the launch pad of New Glenn. We'll be able to see that arc as Blue Ring heads on its mission, and we're very excited about that. The air is electric here. We're just buzzing with excitement, and we're thrilled to be here, really.
I'm not going to lie, I'm a little jealous that you guys are going to get such a straight-on view of the launch pad. Well, not complaining. Denise and I have a pretty great seat here, too, but thank you, Eddie. We'll be checking in back
Excellent.
soon with
Thank
you
you.
there again
Yeah,
down at Cars
We've got
Park.
one more chant for you guys. We're going to get loud for you.
Wow, I love it. I love it. You feel the energy down there. I absolutely love it. Now,
I can't do-
one employee on the New Glenn team that is not down there with Eddie, and I do want to give a special call out to our program leader for New Glenn, Jarrett Jones. Jarrett has led the New Glenn program for years, and I'm very grateful to be able to call him a friend. He has a deep background in aerospace. There he is. And he's been instrumental through the build-up to today's launch. I mean, there you see him just a moment ago, and let's see. Can we point him out here in launch control? Yes, he is there, kind of that first row, bottom left. There you go, checking in, got his eyes glued to his screen, talking to one of our long-term core employees here. We got Mark Featherstone, who has been also leading this program for a long time. And man, and you saw that image just a moment ago with him in front of the New Glenn. That was the day that we installed the 7 engines on New Glenn for the first time. And I'm pretty sure he is absolutely psyched. You also see the gentleman in the center of that front row in the green sweatshirt. That is Dave Limp, our CEO, who joined us just about a year ago. And man, talk about sparking some fire. It has been wonderful to have him on the team with us, and he is clearly absolutely dialed in. And last but not least, in between Jarrett and Dave, Jeff Bezos, our founder, who of course has been thinking about this day for many years. And I should also throw in a special happy birthday to Jeff. What a day. I wouldn't mind having a rocket launch on my birthday, but this man deserves it. So much patience, commitment, passion for what we're doing. It's just, we are very lucky, Denise, to have such a leadership team here supporting us at Blue as we go through all of these programs and getting them off and going. But at the middle of many of them and the core to making a lot of this work, New Glenn. That's why today is so important. Okay, everybody, we're at T-minus 23 minutes to go until launch. It is so great to have you all joining us for today's inaugural launch. We have folks tuning in from all over for this big day, and of course we had Eddie and the team down at Cars Park. But we also wanted to give a nod to a couple special groups watching from across the nation. We've got employees tuned in at multiple sites, checking in and rooting for New Glenn. As I mentioned, not only do a lot of our employees work on multiple programs. There we go. We got Kent. We got Huntsville. I love it. Kent, of course, our headquarters. I see you guys. Huntsville, where we build all of our engines, our BE4s, our BE3Us. And of course, Blue Ring. You guys should be so proud.
Your team spirit. Oh, I just know that everybody here has worked so hard for this and cannot wait for the next 22 minutes. Hi, everyone.
And our team down in Huntsville, our beautiful engine factory. You guys are just the best. Just the best. Well, you can see the passion, the energy. We have been working so hard to get to this point. All right, well, I can't complain about our view from right here. We have got a pretty sweet spot here, but I do want to go upstairs to our co-host, Maggie, who's up here, Mission Control. Maggie, you there?
Here, and I have found a new place to hang out.
Wow, all right, so I know that not only do you get to hang out near Mission Control, but this for our audience gives you a sense of how close they are to just being able to go outside on the deck there. Tell me about this view that you get and that some of our VIPs are going to get tonight.
Yep, I am out on the balcony. We are on the 3rd floor of our rocket factory. And just out there, you can see the red blinking light at the top of our tower. So the launch pad is right out there. And then just to my left here is the mission control team. So you know when that rocket goes up, they'll be turning their heads briefly to the right. So we're out here. We've got some guests, VIPs, some of our Blue family inside. They're still in there while it's warm, but I expect to see more and more people headed out here soon.
Now, Maggie, I know you're able to also listen in on the radio with the team behind you. What are some of the things that you're hearing?
Sure. About this time in the count, I am hearing them going into their weather brief. They are making sure that everything is clear downrange. That's both the water and in the air. And I haven't heard anything thus far, Ariane.
Well, thank you, Maggie. So great to have you up there, keeping us tuned into all of the action. As we noted, we've got launch control and mission control right back to back. We'll be checking in again with you in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're at T-minus 19 minutes and 50 seconds to go until our targeted liftoff. So we're getting closer and closer. And we want to point out a few things coming up ahead in our countdown, because some of them actually come in a pretty quick sequence.
Yeah, so coming up, we're going to have a planned weather check. This is where our teams take one last look at the weather for launch today. This weather check validates that our trajectory is still on track, and the team will continue to close out any remaining open items that could be on their dashboard.
So it seems like their plan hold that this countdown that's up there, guys, is not taking into account the plan holds. It's just a straight countdown. Their internal countdowns must have holds from what I can tell, because their own press kit is saying like, oh, there's a, they're talking about the weather check and stuff. That countdown is the actual countdown, right? And it's not taking into account plan holds as far as I can tell.
Hands off for our operators. We're going to be switching New Glenn to internal power, internal hydraulics, and things will move really quickly from there.
And then, as we approach the final moments, and just before we light the engines, there's this water deluge.
It's a huge water deluge. This is going to engulf the flame trench completely, which is going to protect our rocket from vibroacoustic and thermal loading. Finally, autopilot will be enabled. We'll flex the gimbaling engines, and then, well, ignition.
Game on, ignition. I cannot wait for that moment. So all of this is very exciting, even to just hear said out loud. I think there's also a very specific sequence for starting the first stage engines. And talk us through that, because it's not like they just all turn on at once. We got to be careful about how we sequence the engines igniting.
Correct. So you might think that we ignite all 7 BE4s at once, but that's actually not the case. We do something called a staggered start sequence. Engines 1, 4, and 7 will light first, followed by engines 2, 3, 5, and 6. Now, of course, these will happen in a very quick succession, but the staggering start really helps to decrease the sudden pressure on the whole system. There just truly is so much power in those BE4 engines. So staggering them creates a more smooth on-ramp for all that power.
Absolutely. And we talk a lot about the rocket, but you can't forget the ground systems as well, right? So
I have a lot
when
of
we are
questions about
essentially
this
protecting the rocket from the vibration and all that power coming out of the engine, we're also protecting
this is space. I'm in space.
The launch pad itself, right? You see from the map that you showed us earlier how close we are to the water. The water table is just a couple of feet below the launch pad, and I should really talk. A lot of engineering went into
these are really
the
nice cameras
refurbishment
for what it's worth, guys.
Of our launch complex, and so we want to take care of it. It's there for the long haul, but man, we got a big old powerful rocket. So this water deluge system is critical to
it shut off. The
both
countdown's
the rocket
gone.
and the ground, the launch pad, the ground support equipment.
Yep.
Okay, we are at T-minus. We have just had a clock update here. We are at T-minus 37 minutes and 20 seconds to go until launch. As we mentioned, this is kind of what we can expect from our team as they get aligned and ready to go into launch today. So they just need a couple more minutes, and that's A-okay. You know, we say this on the New Shepard webcasts as well, which is we have spent years designing this rocket and, months building it and months going into designing this operation. If we need a couple more minutes before we press go on this thing, that is A-okay with all of us. So with that, why don't we take a moment here to check out this beautiful New Glenn rocket on the pad, getting ready for its first mission to space ever.
Okay. I'll be right back 1 second. I'm going to go get some fresh air. All right, I'm back.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Surat. Why'd number go up? I don't know why the number went up. Yes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at T-minus 33 minutes and 53 seconds to go until New Glenn's first launch. We are so happy to have you all joining us for this historic launch, both here in the U.S. and everywhere around the world. Denise, tell our audience, where are we up to in the preparation of our vehicle?
So right now we're completing a systems functional check for New Glenn, and this is critical because we're ensuring that all of our systems are operating nominally. We're going to verify propulsion, avionics, guidance, communications, and even safety systems. Our engineers are also running diagnostics on all the BE4s and BE3Us. We're checking flight computers, we're checking telemetry. We're also going to do one final comm check. This is really crucial because we want to make sure that we're getting the right data between the rocket and the ground, as well as verifying the signal integrity. Now coming up, we're going to do one last weather check. This is where we get real-time data on wind speed, direction, temperature, humidity, cloud cover, lightning, even thunderstorms. Not just for the LC-36 pad, but we're also checking the weather where the Jacqueline is, so that she's ready to receive our booster. So that is where we are right now. Things are going to move quickly here.
Thanks, Denise. And yeah, we should reiterate again, the weather, we got to take into consideration the weather here, but also downrange where the landing ship is, the Jacqueline. We've mentioned it earlier. Of course, that was one of the reasons why we needed to take a little bit more time before getting to launch this evening. The sea state out there was a little rough. They were rocking and rolling. And we want to give our rocket the best chance of coming into land and sticking that landing on the Jacqueline. There is the Jacqueline ready to receive the first stage of New Glenn so we can take it back home,
big ship,
refurbish it, put another payload on top and go again. But again, we should reiterate some of our objectives for today. The primary objective is to go to space, go to orbit safely. That's number one. And if we happen to land this booster, as we mentioned before, there are going to be a lot of people losing their minds, mine as well. So stay tuned for that. Now, Denise, why don't you go through a little bit more of the flow down there? So the Blue Ring team is up in mission control right now, also surely tracking their own checklist as they make sure the Pathfinder payload is ready to go to launch as well.
Correct, yeah. So upstairs at the MC, we'll have a launch control and mission control. So our launch team is the one that's doing all these system checks on New Glenn, while mission control is making sure that they're doing similar system checks for the Blue Ring Pathfinder.
Wonderful. And let's take a second and dig in a little bit more on that payload. The Pathfinder is a cool piece of technology, and really,
is a cool control room,
it's just the initial demo for a vehicle program called Blue Ring that's quite far along in its own development. And we mentioned this earlier, today's demo is a non-separating payload. This means the payload tonight is going to stay attached to New Glenn's second stage for the entire 6-hour mission. The other thing I want to reiterate about this, this Blue Ring Pathfinder is it's going to be testing a lot of the same technology, but it's not the Blue Ring itself. It's not the same form factor, but we're going to learn a lot from this evening. Now, what we want to, excuse me, I should say, as we talk about the Blue Ring Pathfinder, I want to reiterate that it's attached to the second stage and it will stay there as it orbits the Earth. And that also is not normal, but we wanted to do that for today's demo mission. Now, today's demo mission on the Pathfinder is going to prove out some important components of our future vehicle, Blue Ring. And I get really excited. Clearly, I get so nervous I get excited talking about this. I love this program. It's one that I've had a hand in getting off the ground for the past year as part of Blue's in-space systems team. But I want to take you deeper into Blue Ring. Let's check out this video.
Blue Ring allows you to do many different things with one vehicle.
It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of satellites. It does a lot, and it does it really well.
Blue Ring is part of building that base layer of infrastructure in space that we at Blue Origin talk about.
Yes.
We can take up to 13 customers up to space,
this is space.
up to
I'm in
3
space.
metric tons, deploy those satellites.
It's going to give them all the capability that they need to be able to be placed where they want, or they can use a lot of the capability inside of Blue Ring.
It can do data storage, data computing, relaying the data.
And it's going to be a massive asset because it now allows all these payload customers to offload all of their data relay and critical processing needs.
You've got space domain awareness, you've got communications capabilities, and then you've also got this ability to host things on Blue Ring itself.
For customers who need orbit maneuver, we can maneuver them between orbits, within an orbit.
We can have nominally 3,000 meters per second of delta V with this vehicle, and in some configurations all the way up to 4,000 meters per second. And it has dual propulsion systems, meaning that I can use the chemical systems for really fast maneuvers, but then have electric propulsion for all of the station keeping and low energy maneuvers. A lot of our work is going to be done in geostationary orbit for sure. But we've got capabilities to go out to cislunar orbits and interplanetary.
Blue Ring Pathfinder is going to be on our first New Glenn flight, which is really exciting.
This first mission, it demonstrates our space-to-ground interfaces. So it proves out that we can command our vehicle on orbit, can receive data from the vehicle.
We'll be testing out and demonstrating a lot of the capabilities that will be hosted on the Blue Ring vehicle as a whole.
We're building not just the transportation systems through New Glenn, but also the infrastructure that will help future generations take advantage of what space has to offer.
Blue Ring is going to multiply what we can do in space and create the infrastructure like nothing else.
Oy.
I don't know about you, but I am pretty excited, if you can't tell, to be able to say that the team I work with in my day job, Blue Ring, is the team behind the first payload ever on New Glenn.
It is so, so cool. Thinking about the way a vehicle like Blue Ring will open up access to space. I mean, that's really what it's all about. That key aspect of today's mission is that demo of space-to-ground communication capabilities.
How long have I been up? I don't know. After the flame trench on Friday, I probably got like 6 hours of sleep before I had to get on a plane. And then I had a huge, the flight got delayed. My layover got delayed. So I spent 6 hours in an airport on Saturday. I got here, and then started helping NSF with stuff and probably got like 2 to 3 hours of sleep last night. And then, yeah. In the past, like 48, I've probably got like 3. Yeah, I'd say 3, maybe 4. Maybe 4. I dozed off for a second, but yeah, like 3.
Data real time, and all of this will be communicated over RF to Atlas antennas.
I don't know if you guys have noticed. My commentary is not as good as it usually is.
Stations.
Because I am gassed. I'm pretty gassed. Yeah, pretty tired. But it's good. I'm here. We'll launch this. It'll be great. Or we'll see it launch. It'll be good.
Time over specific areas of Earth, making it an ideal orbit for certain communication and observation missions. And this is all part of proving how Blue Ring can navigate. All the data collected from this mission will be used to
fully
support
reusable
the future
Twitch streamer.
production
That's me.
of the Blue Ring space vehicle, which undoubtedly will play a vital role in further space exploration and communication.
Your mic sounds really good. Thank you.
That data and experience gained from this Pathfinder mission will be invaluable for our engineering team. It really does pave the way for more advanced missions. It helps ensure the reliability and the efficiency of future Blue Ring vehicles.
There you have it, folks. Now, Blue Ring Pathfinder is supported by the Department of Defense's Innovation Unit, or DIU. And let me tell you, we're so thankful for their involvement today. I should say they have been so supportive of our Pathfinder, but just the Blue Ring program in general. They are believers like us. So thank you to them. All right, with that, we're at T-minus 24 minutes and 3 seconds to go until T-minus 0. This is NG-1, the first flight of New Glenn, and we are so glad you're here joining us this evening. Why don't we take a moment to talk about our mission objectives for the launch? This is our first flight, and we've prepared rigorously for it, but we also know that none of this is easy. And our key objective today is to reach orbit safely. Anything beyond that is icing on the cake, bonus points. We know that landing the booster on the first try offshore is ambitious, but we are going for it. No matter what happens today, we are going to learn, refine, and apply that knowledge to our next launch. We're really looking forward to seeing how the vehicle performs. As I said earlier, more data, the better, right? We've pushed every single part, component, system in our testing well beyond its limits by design. But we also recognize that
how many people thought she was going to say more data, more better? It sounded like she thought about it.
Into space, which is why we can't wait.
It definitely, dude. She was like, more data,
see how things
the
perform,
better.
and apply all the lessons learned to our next launch and beyond. It is an absolutely thrilling day. Again, we're so glad that you're here to share it with us. Now, with that, we're at T-minus 22 minutes and 30 seconds to go until launch. Why don't we take a moment and check out New Glenn on the pad as it gets ready for its first launch to space today.
Check it out. Oh, dude, that thing is a monster. Okay, we're T-minus 22 minutes for the inaugural launch for Blue Origin, New Glenn, Flight 1, or the NG-1 mission for short. Does this carry any useful payload? It's a test payload for some of Blue's internal vehicles called Blue Ring. So yes and no. In future, Blue Rings are basically, from what I can tell, they look like payload attachment fittings that have been modified to be spacecraft, a free-floating spacecraft, which is not a bad idea. It's a pretty good idea. You know, you could use them for whatever. It's basically a modular satellite bus. This one has a test article for that, but it's not separating from the upper stage. Oh man, I had something in my eye. I swear.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are at T-minus 20 minutes and 50 seconds to go until New Glenn's first launch. What a day for us. And, you know, it takes many, many smart people to bring a vehicle like New Glenn together. And one of those great people that I've had the pleasure of working with over several years is someone who now leads up customer integration for New Glenn. That is Blue Origin's Laura McGinnis. Laura is the Vice President of Mission Management for New Glenn. Now, before Blue, Laura spent time in a similar role with United Launch Alliance. She also had quite the career at the Air.
The second stage is has an apogee at medium Earth orbit and then a perigee that's decaying, if I'm remembering right, Cleater.
Customers can start to expect from a vehicle like New Glenn. Let's listen to that chat.
Laura, thank you for taking the time, especially on such an important day, to give us a tour of the factory. This is kind of like your second home, I imagine, for the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Ariana. We're so excited about this factory and super excited to show you all a little bit about it.
Well, so talk to me a little bit about what we got going on here. We've got multiple rockets coming down the line.
Yeah, all kinds of things going on. So the basic layout is that the raw materials comes in from the south side of the building down here at the end of the aisle. We weld the tanks together down there. Then we bring the completed modules here for assembly. Over here we have our GS1 aft module, which will have landing legs, 7 BE4 engines installed. We do all of that work. We continue to assemble the stages down here. We build fairings. Behind the wall over here, our 7-meter fairing, which our customers love, and eventually we roll out the Glen Stage 1, Glen Stage 2, and the fairings out of the north end of the building. Those are all transported 8 miles over to Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and are assembled in our integration facility over there prior to launch.
And that's also, of course, where we integrate the payload as well. Just talking about customers a little bit, what have the various customers been saying about what they're excited about?
We're working with our national security customer right now on certifying New Glenn because they really need an additional launch system.
Right.
We're also working with our NASA customers. They've got a lot of interest in the size of our payload fairing, both for rideshare kinds of things as well as large telescopes and large instruments. Commercial customers are thrilled about our capability of bringing many small spacecraft to LEO.
And we've already been doing some integration precisely with these customers. How has that process been going with our customers?
We know our customers make us better. So these customers, many of them have been launching different missions, different systems for years and years, and working with them to understand their needs, understand how we can adapt our system to best meet their needs.
So that's kind of the longer term work that you and your team have been doing. But let's get back to NG1 for a second. What have the last couple of weeks been like down here at the Cape?
It's not simple to take this whole system into a successful vehicle. I would say one of our best learning opportunities was our integrated launch vehicle, Hotfire.
Video was unreal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Beautiful, it was awesome. Glowing blue is like a, all right, this is game time.
Totally, yep.
This launch, NG1, what are you most looking forward to? When it is go time, when the rocket lifts off, what do you think that's going to feel like?
I mean, I will say I love that final 4 minutes when we pick up terminal count and we're counting down and the room is super quiet, the energy, the excitement, the moment, and then feeling that lift off, seeing it on its way over the horizon, and then hearing that final call out that we have inserted our payload customer successfully into orbit is like just an amazing moment, and I can't wait for it. I know New Glenn's going to do it. It's going to be a great day.
A big thank you to Laura again for joining for that quick tour through our factory right behind where we are this evening. Okay, we are at T-minus 31 minutes and 6 seconds to go until NG1. We continue to tick down towards our first launch. I will mention again, you may have seen we went down and then we added some more time to the clock. That is just fine. That is our team taking a couple more minutes to make sure that all of their procedures are aligned as we tick down towards T-minus 0. So you might see a little bit more of that happening here. While we've got a little bit more time, why don't we talk about the flight profile for this evening's launch? What is that going to look like as we see this vehicle fly today?
We've imagined New Glenn's flight for so long. We've looked forward to this day, and I'm so excited just to see another vehicle of this size flying from the coast of Florida. We're going to be feeling the power of those BE4 engines here in the studio very shortly.
Yeah.
After liftoff, there are a number of important milestones in the flight that we'll be tracking. So let's go ahead and take a detailed look at what New Glenn's first flight is going to be like.
New Glenn lifts off from Launch Complex 36 on Cape Canaveral. 7 BE4 engines will ignite and propel the rocket upward with over 3.8 million pounds of thrust, or roughly 17,000 kilonewtons. The vehicle will quickly reach supersonic speeds as it climbs through the atmosphere. As the rocket ascends, it will encounter maximum aerodynamic pressure known as max Q at around 40,000 feet or 12 kilometers. This is the point at which the stress on the vehicle is at its highest.
Discovery,
Around
go
3
and
minutes
throttle
into the flight, the vehicle will turn off its engines, marking the end of the boost phase. Shortly after, the reusable first stage will separate and begin its journey back to Earth. 2 BE-3U engines on the second stage will ignite and propel it onward into orbit with the payload. The reusable booster reorients in the vacuum of space using its reaction control system. At 220,000 feet or 67 kilometers, it executes an exo-atmospheric deceleration burn using its Center 3 engines. These engines gimbal for maximum control of the booster. This burn slows the vehicle down before re-entering the atmosphere. As it descends, the booster's strakes and fins work together to slow it down and guide it autonomously back to Earth, landing on a vessel at sea. At around 9,000 feet, or just under 3,000 meters, the first stage begins its final landing burn. The 3 middle engines will light for 20 seconds, slowing the vehicle in preparation for the final descent.
Hey, Meebs.
Discovery,
The 2
go and
outer
throttle up.
engines will turn off, and the center engine will execute the final controlled maneuver onto the landing platform. The vessel will return to Cape Canaveral to prepare for its next mission. Meanwhile, in space, the second stage will continue to power the payload towards its final orbit. At around 400,000 feet or 120 kilometers, the payload fairings will jettison. New Glenn will deliver an unprecedented range of payloads. Large satellites, dual payloads, orbital vehicles, large constellation dispensers, even moonlanders destined to establish permanent human presence on the moon.
Yeah, it does, Blackbird. They just
This
talked about it.
is New Glenn. This is how we will build a road to space.
Yeah, I mean, it is a reusable vehicle. It's partially reusable, guys. The first stage does.
So
it
again,
does,
there you've got an opportunity
come
to
back
see
down,
what the mission
which is cool.
profile will be for this rocket this evening. But I think what was really cool about that video as well is it gives you a sense of the future as well in terms of the various vehicles that we're going to be able to take on this rocket, whether it's a lot of LEO satellites or a lunar lander or a massive GEO payload, whatever it may be. I think that's one of the coolest things about this vehicle. It is very versatile, and it's the power of the vehicle matched with the volume of a 7-meter fairing that's going to allow this vehicle to be a workhorse for Blue Origin as well as our customers for years to come. So a beautiful rocket on the pad there waiting its first launch to space.
I don't know, Hinks. I don't know why everything has to have a different name, you know. No, we can't call it that. Everybody else calls it that. We can't call it that. You know, supersonic retropropulsion is not a SpaceX term for things. It's NASA's, right? Right. It's NASA's. 'S. 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 's It is an EJ term for it. Nice shots. The cameras are really nice around the pad. They're very good. Yeah, Fish, I like it too. This isn't good, guys. I am very, very quickly running out of steam. This is not, yeah, it's not great. And I'm not drinking any coffee right now. It's way too late. "23 minutes. This is Launch Complex 36, Astro, Cape Canaveral. Oh, yeah, Hanks. Yeah, that's easy. I don't know, Kuji, man. I don't know, Bob. Yeah, this is not in West Texas. This is at Cape Canaveral. This is Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. Nice. Nice. Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. It's nice, Panther, sure. Okay, T-minus 20 minutes for the fourth time. New T0 is 2:07 a.m. Okay. Oh, nice shot up the business end. Look at, there's the 7 first stage engines there. We're going to see, per what they said for their staggered ignition sequence, they're going to see the 3 in a row here fire, and then the 4 on the outsides. Any payload in it. There's a test blue ring payload, Ozzy. I'm trying not to yawn on stream, guys. I'm trying my best. Sorry, Bren. Tell us a story? No.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Yep. The tanks are in recirculation mode right now, Big Gun. They topped the tanks at T-1 hour, and they've just been in propellant recirculation.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
XCOM. Thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. ARJ gifted a sub too. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
I assume you've gone to see Starship. How was the size in real life? It's gigantic, dude. It's like looking at a skyscraper.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at T-minus 16 minutes and 45 seconds to go until launch here. An exciting evening for all of us here at Blue Origin. I'm so glad that you've joined us.
I'm going to stand
Now,
up, dudes.
We have spoken about the wealth of experience in the New Glenn launch and mission control rooms upstairs. And I want to take it back to Maggie upstairs, who is standing by up there. Maggie, you with us?
Yep, Ariane, I am back at mission control. And as we make our way towards terminal count, the energy is high. It might seem like it's a little quiet with everyone sitting down, but the communications are ongoing. The launch director and his team are working super hard to get us there.
I love it. They're in the zone. So, Maggie, I'd love for you to talk us through some of the people behind the mission up there. Walk us through who's on console.
People.
We've got some of our best and brightest here in the Mission Control Center. So the Mission Control Center is actually a network of rooms. We've got Mission Control, Launch Control, and Engineering Support rooms where our team is looking through data constantly.
That's not gonna work.
Now this whole team is led by our launch director. His name is Ben Dykstra. Ben is responsible for the launch, tip to tail. He is doing the go, no go, and making sure that we get our best chance of success. Ben actually comes from our New Shepard rocket. So Ben is a great example of how we take our flight pedigree from New Shepard and we are building it into New Glenn. Now, Ben and I go way back. We worked on New Shepard together for quite a while, and I've had a chance to talk to him quite a bit this week. And I was asking him what his pre-launch traditions are and what he's bringing here to New Glenn. And he gave me a couple answers. One, he sets 3 alarms because he really does not want to miss his call. I have a feeling he didn't have to actually use all 3 of them today, but I'll ask him afterwards. And then he also sets little Post-it notes on the screens of his console mates so that they get a little funny note or a little encouraging thing from their launch director before they go. And then when we do terminal count, he will be doing his fist bumps with the entire team.
I love it. I know Ben
this is space.
Cry.
I'm in space.
Why don't you give us some other highlights? Who else is supporting
Nando.
Ben with
yes,
launch
she's
control
going.
today?
She's going to try to.
Ben is supported by a really large team, and we're not going to have time to touch on them all, but a couple here.
She did,
First, we
Brent.
have Ann
She did.
Dickey. Ann is the assistant flight director, and shout out to New Shepard again. Ann comes from that program as well. Now, Ann has been working the integrated schedule all week long, really making sure that this team is ready to go. And after we launch successfully, she is going to get herself an ice cream cone, and I will be joining her. Next, we have Martin De La Torre. Martin is a ground controller, which means that he will be working through all of the data and controls of our ground system out there at the pad. So as complicated as we all know rockets can be, the systems that are working around it are equally as complicated. And so Martin has a tough job today, but we know he's working hard. His favorite quote is from Stephen Hawking, and so he's got heroes, I think, like the rest of us. Next, we have Stephen Shelley. Now, again, you talked about the Jacqueline a little bit earlier. That's our offshore vessel, and Stephen Shelley is our offshore recovery lead. So as we go through this whole process, the team and the launch director, Ben, are constantly checking in with Stephen to make sure that we know that the barge is ready should we be able to land New Glenn. His launch day ritual is actually the same as Ben, another 3-alarm guy. So we'll be asking him as well. And then last, but certainly not least, we have Megan Lewis.
This is space.
Megan is
I'm
one
in
of our
space.
two
Hi,
primary
Stackless.
launch
Thank you.
controllers, which means that she has control authority over a lot of these major systems on New Glenn. Megan is from Utah, and in a very sweet story,
for 10
Megan is
minutes,
actually
Lemmy.
wearing a bracelet today that her grandfather gave her grandmother with charms for every Apollo mission that he worked. So
Cool.
a really incredible legacy of spaceflight in that family, and they're bringing it to the Blue family. So we're really proud of them today. Megan Lewis and team, led by Ben Dykstra, are getting it done.
I love it. Just some wonderful stories, and each one of them has their ritual. I'm glad that seems like their alarm system has worked, because yes, they are all on console and ready to rock and roll today. That's a good thing. So, hey, Maggie, stay plugged in up there for us, and we will keep checking back in with you. All right, everybody, we're at T-minus 11 minutes and 40 seconds to go until launch. Why don't we take a moment here and send it over to the pad and check in on New Glenn as it gets ready for its first launch to space today.
It's a nice rocket. Yeah, guys, it is a monster. Inside of 11 minutes. I'll run the ads now, guys. I'm gonna run the ads so you guys don't get an ad during the launch. So we'll run them now. I'll see you on the other side. If for whatever reason you don't see ads, just hang here for a second. I just don't want anybody to get like pre-rolls when the thing's actually launching. I'm doing this to hold myself up in the chair so I don't fall asleep, if anybody's wondering. All right, inside of 10 minutes, here we go. Hey, Rams, 16-month resub, thank you. Hey, Santa Toes, how are you?
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Right, Resonant? Exactly. I'm happy this thing is just like a stub. Yeah, no problem, zombie. Oh, you! Why? Come on, man. Dude. Dude. That's almost through the window, guys. It's a 3-hour window. The window opened up at where did it open up at? It opened up at midnight, right? Or no, it opened up at 1. Oh, they got 2 more hours. Oh yeah, that's right. The time zones are messing with my heads, dude.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space. Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-minus 27 minutes and 5 seconds to go until launch. You may have noticed that we've added some more time to the clock, as we mentioned before.
Oh, yeah, I
This is
noticed.
just our teams getting aligned, making sure that
you guys notice?
each of the separate sub-teams have
Oh, yeah,
gone through all of their
we
checklists,
saw.
make sure that everything is in the green, making sure that the weather here at the Cape and downrange, everything is within bounds. So
this
again,
is
if we
space.
need to add
I'm
a
in
couple more
space.
minutes, that is quite all right with us.
Stop noticing.
But while we've got a little bit more time, I
Oh.
would like to check in with my colleague, Eddie Seifert, out there at Cars Park, where he's joined by
Please,
Team Blue
no more
Origin,
artificial
here,
cheering.
our team that's based here in Florida. What you got going on down there, Eddie?
Yeah, hey Ariane, welcome back to the best seat in the house here at Cars Park. I'm with the Smith family.
Hi, Thos.
We're working at Blue Origin, and working on rockets is a family affair. I'm with father Mike Smith, son Corbin Smith, and granddaughter Elizabeth. Elizabeth, tell me, you've sent a postcard to space, is that right?
Yes.
And tell me, what was on your postcard?
There was rockets and planets.
Rockets and planets on the postcard. Now, Corbin, how did you get your start at Blue Origin?
So I first started up in Huntsville, where I worked with an amazing team on the engine crew, building BE4 and BE3U. Now I'm here down at Rocket Park, building the thrust structures for GS2.
Excellent. Must be special to be working on that GS2 rocket out there. And Mike, how about you? How did you get your start at Blue?
Well, it was my son that actually encouraged me to apply, and we got hired around the same time. And it's been awesome being able to work with him on different projects. We get to talk about work at home and do different things. We bleed blue at home.
Excellent, excellent. And Elizabeth, tell me, what are you most looking forward to today's launch?
For the rocket to go up in space.
Yeah, me too, kid.
Well, I think we're going to end on that note, Ariane. We're looking forward for that rocket to go to space. Let's send New Glenn to space. Let's light this candle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
we-
it.
yeah,
It
we
is
should
a
do that.
family affair, and I think
should do
I
that.
love seeing the
It's a
different
good idea.
generations there. Father, son, pair working at Blue. I
oh,
look
this is
forward to
space.
seeing
I'm in
that little
space.
firecracker, that little girl joining us in a couple of years here in the future. It just speaks to, you know, it takes years to build these rockets, and that's what we're here to do at Blue. We're here to build these rockets that are laying the foundation for the building the road to space, right? And so that children like her can pick up the torch and build on top of that. We're setting forth so that they can build infrastructure in space and really It's all for the benefit of Earth. Well, with that, thanks, Eddie, for checking in with us. We are at T-minus 24 minutes and 10 seconds to go until launch. Let's check out New Glenn on the pad as it gets ready for launch this evening.
Okay. Oh. Dude, I'm running out of gas. This is not good. This is not good.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
They're not telling us nuclear. They're not saying why they've restarted the count 4 or 5 times now. They haven't said anything. They just said, they keep telling us, like, we're good at building rockets, and we're so excited to see it, and we're going to launch it today. That's all they've said. They haven't said what's going on, why the count keeps getting pushed.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Release. Push-ups and sit-ups. I'm not doing that.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
They told us about that girl's bracelet. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Hey, Matt. Jeez.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, if I take a nap now, I'm gone, dude. I'm gone. Take a nap. This turns into a sleep stream, and I'm not doing that. How's Starbase? Let me take a look. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there, and it's still blinking. How far away from you are you from Starbase? Not very. I don't know, 5Ks maybe? You at Starbase? Yeah, I went to the wrong launch site, guys. Oops. No, level 1, and I never plan on doing that. How long are you here for? Well, you know, there's a funny story behind that. I didn't book a flight home. I don't know. I had a feeling this thing would scrub. Or, well, not New Glenn's. I had a feeling Starship would get pushed back. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have a return itinerary, so how long am I down here? I don't know. When Starship launches? Question? But I don't want to say that because I absolutely have to be back home, like on Saturday. So we'll see what happens, dudes. We'll see. We'll see. I can't confirm though. Starship is there. I can see it. It's right there. But New Glenn's is also right there. It's pretty good. I don't know, Astro.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-minus 19 minutes and 55 seconds to go until launch. New Glenn looking good there on the pad. We saw some beautiful views. As Denise has talked about, all the propellants are nice and chilled down. You saw the big, beautiful Blue Origin word mark and feather on that rocket. She is looking beautiful.
What happens.
But we do have a little bit more time here. Why don't we take a moment to talk about the BE4 engines. We're looking at the vehicle right now at the base of the vehicle. Oh, that's a pretty shot right there. You see the 7 nozzles of the 7 BE4 engines. You want to tell us a little bit more, Denise?
Yeah, so New Glenn is powered by 7 BE4 engines. Now, these are the nation's first reusable, oxidizer-rich stage combustion booster engines. They use liquid oxygen and liquefied natural gas, or LNG, which is essentially a commercial form of methane.
Yeah, and we selected LNG because it's cleaner burning and more efficient than kerosene, or also known as RP1, rocket propellant 1. That's what a lot of rockets use. It's also low cost and widely available, which is really important when you're doing lots of launches, which is our intention for this New Glenn program. I should also note that we have done a ton of testing on the BE4 engine, and we also want to keep those costs down as well. All of it adds up, right? And one of the coolest aspects, though, about LNG is that it can self-pressurize its tank through a process known as autogenous repressurization, right? So this eliminates the need for costly and complex systems that use helium, which is pretty rare. So normally you got helium and other gases in there to push the pressures properly through the engines to get them ready to go. But with LNG, it basically does it on its own. That's what that means.
It's so fascinating. And, you know, in terms of power, each BE4 engine generates an impressive 550,000 pounds of thrust. So when you combine all 7 engines, New Glenn produces about 3.85 million pounds of thrust at launch. And just to put that into perspective, that's roughly half the thrust of a Saturn V rocket, which took humans to the moon. Imagine that power of 200 Boeing 737 airplane engines all firing at once. That's what we're looking at here.
That is a ton of power. You see that these images here, this video, this is from our test facility down in West Texas. And man, oh man, I have been down there actually for one of these tests. And our facility down in West Texas is in this valley. And it just reverberates. You feel like you're in the inside of a drum. It just shakes the entire valley. And I mean, it's just incredible. And we're putting 7 of those at the base of this vehicle. The other thing you should see in that video there is that it burns this really cool blue color. So that's a nut. I'm not saying that's why we chose this propellant, but it's a nice little bonus to it.
It sure is.
So a lot of power coming out of these engines, but then also a lot of interesting technology that's gone into the turbo pumps too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
They sure are. So the turbo pumps, which pump fuel and oxygen, are also incredibly powerful. Together, they produce the equivalent amount of horsepower needed to power 2 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers at full speed. Yet each turbo pump is small enough to fit in the back seat of your car.
Think about that. I mean, the comparison is crazy, but just think about that efficiency that goes into that turbo machinery. Then you also see here, obviously, the comparison between our BE4 engine. So there are 7 of those on the base of the vehicle, and our BE3U, BE3 upper stage engines, or 2 of those on the second stage. I want to talk a little bit more here. You see the comparison of the BE4 to the BE3U. You also have a comparison of the power of it as well. You know, both of these engines are highly sophisticated and have unique functionality built for New Glenn itself.
I thought it said...
So for BE4, as we noted, we've got 7 of these engines.
It says the average American woman's 64 inches. I was like, I thought it said 6'4" for a second. I'm like, what?
Help steer the rocket, so that will be working, of course, in conjunction with the fins at the top of the booster.
Wait.
Now, those 3 middle engines are going to relight to help with deceleration and landing burns. And the other 4 engines are fixed. And this is the combination that gives us both the power that we need, but also the flexibility we need for different stages of flight.
And you know, the BE4 engines are produced at our manufacturing facility in Huntsville, Alabama, and they're tested rigorously at our facilities, both in West Texas and Huntsville, to ensure they meet the high standards.
Yeah, and we should note there are 7 of these on New Glenn. but our friends at ULA with their Vulcan rocket, they use 2 of these engines. And those have already flown successfully to space. So we are very proud of that these engines have already flown to space, and can't wait to see them power this New Glenn rocket as well.
Oh,
they are going to be rattling this building
dude.
very, very shortly.
Dude, no, they won't.
Well, with that, at
You
T-minus
lie.
35 minutes to go until launch, let's toss it back to the rocket and check out New Glenn as this vehicle gets ready for its launch to space this evening.
Oh. I'm definitely shooting messages to Jack expressing my displeasure with the current T0. I'm not saying that's what I'm doing, but that's yeah, you know what? That's what we're doing. That's what's going on. Sim Racer, we haven't got anything. They're not saying why their count is reset 4 times, which is not great. New T0 is 248. I'm not going to make it. Thoughts on the transparency you're getting tonight? I have thoughts. Yes, I have thoughts. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, I have thoughts. That's it. That's all. That is all. You never make it. Never make it. Don't you see you can make it? T0 is 148. I just don't. Username. I appreciate you trying to help. Do not give me T0s in Central. My brain is not functioning right now. My brain will default to Eastern time. I don't care if I'm in Texas. It will default to Eastern time, dude. This is the count that never ends, 'cause it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started scrubbing it, not knowing what it was. Now that song's gonna be stuck in your head. And you know what? I ain't sorry. I don't know, Lava. Yeah. What's that say, Dino? You know what? I had a bad experience last time. I'm going to pull this up without it being on the screen. Facts. Yep. There's two. I can't do it. I cannot make it that far. What Urban Venture said. Splash a little cold water on your face. Stare at ship stack for 5 minutes and we'll all be well again. I can't see it. It's too dark. They don't have the stack lit up, dude. Guys, you don't get it. I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. That means, and I got like probably, I don't know, 4 hours the night before. So cumulatively here, over the last like 3 days, I've gotten probably 8 hours of sleep. Probably. I know my limits. I know my limits. We can stretch the limits pretty good, but starting to fade. Starting to fade. Low taper fade. Gotcha. We heard a deep press there. I don't know if it was a deep press. It could have been some other pneumatic system. Trucks. Hey, Pat. I'll stick with it for a little bit longer, Glass Eye, but yeah. I'll see. We'll see, Kristen, yeah. What is this rocket's payload? Blue has a test payload on board, Bardazel. You take like a 20-minute nap. Journey, if I fall asleep now, I'm falling asleep, dude. Did you not listen to what I just said, or? Yeah. Oh, you haven't slept in 2 days? Oh, just take a cat nap. Wow, I'll do it. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. No, it's not. Dude, if I shut my eyes right now, I'm screwed. Yeah. No, just take a cat nap. Just splash some cold water on your face. And it's like, no. Dude, do not register the whole not sleeping in 2 days part, or where are you guys getting confused? Oh. What time is it in Texas right now? It's 1:20 in the morning. Quick nap. Yeah, dude, if I take a quick nap right now, that's it. I'm done, dude. T-minus 11 until next push. Smirks, why are you like this? Why are you like this, man? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? Because Kiwi? That is not a good enough excuse, man. Should we order a casket for you? Yeah, sure.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are at T-minus 25 minutes and 40 seconds to go until launch. You may have seen we've been adding some time to the clock. This is to allow our teams to go through their checklists. Keep in mind there are multiple sub-teams that are up there in launch and mission control. We want to make sure that everything is ready to go, and if some of those items on the checklist take a little bit of extra time, we're going to do so, especially since it is NG1. We want to make sure that everybody is prepared and everything is aligned. We should also mention, again, we have to keep our eyes on the weather, both here and downrange. So with that, let's continue to check out New Glenn on the pad as this rocket and our teams get ready for NG1.
That's not NSF merch back there, Ben. That's not NSF merch back there. You talking about that? Oh. No. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Good eyes. It is. I was lying. Sorry. I'm tired. Teams are getting ready. Yeah. I hear it, Liz. I've been hearing it. I haven't been seeing it, though. The window is a 3-hour window, and it opened an hour and 24 minutes ago. It closes in 1 hour and 36 minutes. How far is your hotel from Starbase? I can see Starship from here. I can see it. It's right there. Probably about, I don't know. It's a ways away, but it's not that far.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-minus 23 minutes and 45 seconds to go till launch. With all this action going on
Can't see
upstairs
anything,
at
Sig.
Launch
I showed it at
Mission
the beginning
Control,
of the
why don't we
stream,
check
but-
in with our friend Maggie? Maggie, you got me?
Maggie.
Loud and clear, Ariane.
Right on. What are you? What's going on up there? What are you hearing about the status of our teams?
Yep, things are busy. The team is continuing to work through a few anomalies before we can proceed into terminal count. So we've got the engineers looking at all that data. We've got the controllers working through workarounds. So
wrong?
something that I think people don't always think about is that we have an enormous amount of what we're doing here in pre-launch procedures that's, scripted, we can plan it. But when off-nominal things are happening, we've got a team of controllers who can manually operate these systems. So the team that we talked about in our last bit, they are actually going through and able to turn things on and off, put different pressure through different valves. They are working through everything they can to make sure that we have a chance to launch today.
Fantastic. Yes, it's,
Thank
we
you.
run through, when you talk about all the preparation for a launch, of course, we talk about, testing the rocket itself, but we also go through a lot of these simulations in terms of the operations with our team. And you test as much as you can. You go through as many rehearsals as possible. But sometimes, day of, you got to put all the, that's why we got the really smart people in there so that they can work through whatever it is they're finding that might be a little bit off. And that's what our team is doing up there. Maggie, what
Ariane,
else? Sorry, go ahead.
No, the team here has gotten some good practice. I think we all saw the hot fire that we recently successfully made it through. So that is, almost everything up until launch. Before that, we had a successful second stage hot fire. Those are those BE3U engines. And before that, we were doing tanking tests, mass simulators. We've done component testing, system testing. And a lot of the engineers that are working in this room are actually responsible engineers on the floor. So they've gotten their hands on this hardware. They know their systems.
Excellent. Very good point. I think that I've always appreciated what we do here at Blue Origin. We tend to rotate our engineers. A lot of them, as you said, get to go down to the floor.
I'm not going to lie to
see
you.
their
I
hardware
thought I was
that
falling
they've
asleep. I'm like,
designed,
what?
talk to the men and women that are fabricating, but then also assembling the vehicle. They are very, very in tune, in touch with this vehicle. So
21,
if there
T
are
minus
things for them
21.
to work, especially in these last minutes, we've got the right team to do it. Maggie, I want to thank you again for bringing us all the details. We've got a couple of minutes to go here. We got 20 minutes and 47 seconds to go until launch. Why don't we take a look at New Glenn as this rocket gets ready to go to space.
You sure about that? You sure? Okay. I gotta stand up. I gotta go outside for a second. I gotta stand up. I'll be right back. Just chill. How we doing? How we doing, Tank? Here, you know what?
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are T-minus 19 minutes to go until launch here, and while our teams are continuing to get aligned, why don't we take a moment to chat a little bit about this amazing building we are in, the factory at Rocket Park here in Florida. This is where it all comes together, where we bend the metal on New Glenn. I literally see people down there bending metal, pulling, putting the components together, testing, cleaning, but also not only do we talk about, just all the intricate pieces and parts here, but to build a rocket like this, the sheer scale of the facility here, this factory, but also the other buildings around here are just mind-blowing.
It really is quite impressive. So Rocket Park is essentially where we bring our rocket dreams to life. We're talking about state-of-the-art manufacturing and assembly areas designed to produce rockets efficiently and, of course, sustainably.
All right. I'm going to chime in. I saw somebody say it in chat, and I thought I'd bring it up. Like, okay, look, here's the thing. If they are trying to put this thing into a startup sequence and it's done this 4 or 5 times in a row, guys, it doesn't bode well. This is very clearly not a problem that okay. That's the thing. Here's the thing. I was about to say it's very clearly not a problem. Like, this is not something you're fixing today. You send it this many times and it doesn't do it. Like, it's clearly, if you shouldn't force the issue like that. But see, here's the thing: we don't even know if that number is right, if they're recycling the count, why they're recycling the count. They could be recycling it for weather conditions, right? I doubt that they'd be recycling for weather conditions, because if they did, they would have gone, right? Like, it would have launched already. So something's telling me that it's not happy. That New Glenn's is not happy. Like, that's what my gut's telling me at this point. All right, and I mustered up a great amount of energy to give this explanation. Okay. It could be a range violation, but range violations are usually cleared pretty fast, Dark Horse. That's the thing. So I would rule that one out. Curious how much fuel they have to keep topping off. I don't know the answer to that. Hey, 95. Landing zone. Landing zone what? What does that mean? What do you mean landing zone? The conditions in the landing zone, they wouldn't have recycled the count 5 times. They just would have targeted a new T0W. It's not that. Right? Or they would have. I don't know. It's hard to say, because I don't have any other New Glenn launches to compare this to, you know? They did talk about anomalies. That's right, Sim. That's a good point. Does the T0 ever get accelerated? No. During the static fire attempt, they were topping off for nearly 7 to 8 hours. Yeah, okay, Phil. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So they got plenty. Yeah, exactly. If it was a range violation, they wouldn't have had this whole stint on how, this is an anomalous thing, you know? Okay, 15 minutes for this attempt. Serious question. Do you think there was multiple or just one feather painter? Please don't answer. Thank you for making me not answer that. General question. Why are all the rockets painted white and not black? Some of them are. Spinning Frog. Some of them are. Like Electron. Electron is. But it really is. Oh, hold up. Oh, come on, unmute.
Park is in. There's just so much history here on the Space Coast. and we are eager to write our own chapter.
It's usually for thermal purposes,
Absolutely.
dude. That's
there really
why.
is just so much history, and there's something to be said about the testing and integration and design teams all working so closely together. I know that working on the program,
I know, it
myself,
was
being
kind
able
of
to
a
talk
shot
to
in
the
the dark
designers
right there.
and the people who are making the hardware is just so valuable to increase communication and efficiency, and our campus really allows for that.
100%. The physical proximity
bringing a
is
ship
really,
into
really
port. That's
important.
good to know, dude.
And it's not known, actually, but historically, rockets
It is bigger,
have launched
619. It's
out
almost as
of the
tall as the
Cape,
Saturn
but they
V.
haven't been built here.
She's a
And
beast.
so to be
New
able
Glenn
to
is a beast
build
if
our
it
rocket
goes.
here, do the integration here of the rocket, but then also obviously the payload with the rocket. And then when we get GS1, we get the booster back, we'll be doing all of the refurbishment here. That is so important, that co-location, to have that all come together. And, you know, I love that video because you see all the action. As I mentioned, you know, it's so funny. I was looking through photos earlier today, and I've got photos in the
No,
flame
secret.
trench when they
I'm
were
good.
just putting it up. You know, they were pouring
Yeah.
concrete. You know, I remember being in this facility when there weren't doors on. It was just, you know, dirt
13.
on the ground. I remember we had no joke, we had a poll when they were clearing the land for this rocket park as to how many turtles we would find, because we have to relocate all of the turtles because there's incredible wildlife in this area. So of course we wanted to make sure that we protect those animals and the wildlife. And so we had a poll as to how many turtles we were going to find. God, I wish I could remember.
I was going to say, do you
I know,
remember?
I know. I didn't win it,
Discovery,
clearly.
go and throttle up.
But, you know, there's just so much work that went into building this facility from the ground up. And to be here today is just, it feels surreal in many ways. And, you know, that I was just talking a little bit about the factory itself, but the launch complex, you know, LC-36, as you touched on earlier this evening, has been
12 minutes.
around for a long time, has been where many historic rockets and missions have launched from. And we basically stripped it down to the ground and rebuilt it for this world-class rocket for decades to come. You know, we invested in this facility knowing that we're going to be here a while. With that said, we also here at Blue Origin like to pay homage to the giants who have the shoulders upon which we stand, right? Like the vehicle, of course, is named New Glenn. But also, what's really cool is
We're going to bed.
you can't quite see it
Good
here
night.
in the dark.
I'm just
but
going
we
to sleep
kept what's
here for a
called the
second. I'm
block
just resting
house.
my eyes.
So a lot of the previous, during a lot of the previous launches, there would actually be a crew in the blockhouse, which is not very far from that launch pad, when they launched a rocket. This thing is like a concrete fort, basically. It's not very big, and it's got, on the inside, it's got these massive, heavy doors that close to protect the teams. To be very clear, we're not using that blockhouse tonight. We don't use it in our operations, but it is something that we have kept on site because of the history that is in that facility. I hope that one day I'll be able to go back in there. I did get a chance to peek my head in.
I'm not there,
a
Sib. I'm
couple
at
of
the other
years
launch
ago.
site.
It feels almost like what's the right way of putting?
I'm at the other launch site where they launch things from. Sorry.
The old computers and the ashtrays. They're literally cigarettes that are still there from back in the day. We don't allow that in our launch control room.
I guarantee you 100% that there is not cigarette butts in that blockhouse from 70 years ago.
We're set up for success as much as possible, which is really, really great.
When's the next launch?
Okay, we are at T-minus now 36 minutes and 40 seconds to go until launch.
36 minutes and 40 seconds.
Our team has added more time to the clock. They are working through their checklist. There's clearly some things that they want to spend a little bit more time on, and that.
There's not cigarette butts in there because they had to safe that blockhouse. Jeff Bezos talked about it in Tim Dodd's video. He said that the blockhouse had asbestos in it. It had asbestos in it, so they had to de-asbesticize. That's not the word, but they had to decontaminate it from all the asbestos. So there's no way in hell that anything is in there that was there before. Remediate, that's the word, Skull Crusher. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's not a thing. When you remediate an asbestos layered building, you basically gut it down to the bones. Do you mean remediate? Oh, you guys are so helpful. You're like a Google search. Thank you for being my personal AI.
To launch this evening, I should say.
I was waiting for it,
I
Ariane.
know, it's pretty apropos because this vehicle says.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
That is the name of this booster.
Stop saying those
yes,
words.
Everything is.
Stop saying
meant to be for this vehicle.
those words,
Okay,
man.
With that, we are T-minus
Stop
35
it.
minutes to go until launch.
Stop
Let's
saying that.
Continue to check out New Glenn on the pad as it continues to prepare for its launch to space this evening.
It's not evening. It's morning. Okay? Dude, like, this is getting really tough. Jarvis, please engage Blizzy overdrive. Oh, this bed is so damn comfy.
This is space. I'm in space.
This bed's so freaking comfy. I want to fall asleep. Damn it. So you're telling me there's a chance, Geeson? Oh, no. Hey, Roberts, how are you? Gonna make it? Your mic's muted. Nope. Nope. Guess not.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at T-minus 31 minutes and 30 seconds to go until launch. As you may have noted, we continued to add time back to the clock. That, of course, is
I've noticed.
to make sure that our teams are aligned. I do understand that we're working an issue that is okay. That means, you know, if we're adding time to the clock, it means that the team thinks that there might be a possibility that we can sort it out so we can get to a launch this evening. So we're going to give them the time that they need.
No.
Beautiful launch of beautiful view of the vehicle on the pad there. From the outside, she sure looks ready to go. But of course, there's so much that goes into a complex vehicle like this. But since we do have some time, why don't we take a closer look at our vision and mission at Blue Origin? You know, as we've said time and time again, we're building a road to space for the benefit of Earth. This vision isn't only about exploring space, it's about making life better here on Earth. Let's check it out a bit more about our vision.
New Shepard is just the beginning.
The first step.
From the very start, it's only been about one thing. Earth.
It's fine.
Earth, our Blue Origin.
I'm gonna go, guys.
We've sent robotic
I'm gonna go and get
all
up
over
and
the
walk
solar
around
system,
again.
And
Okay.
it's full of wonders, gas giants, rocky moons.
Earth is the best planet. It is not close.
Despite the variety, despite the wonder in the solar system,
There's no place like home.
Earth is our home, and there is no other place like it.
All life on Earth are uniquely matched to this planet. There's nothing like it anywhere else in the solar system. Not even close, no way.
We have no choice but to preserve Earth.
Preserve this planet, this one.
we get to focus on the future, and the future is nothing without Earth.
For almost all of human history, Earth has seemed big.
It seemed big, but we now know it's small, it's finite. And we know that the rate that we're using Earth's resources is not sustainable.
Earth has things that we need to work on in the here and now.
But there are also long-term problems.
We can't wait to work on the long-term problems. We have to work on both.
One fundamental long-term problem.
We will run out of energy on Earth.
It's just arithmetic. It's going to happen. Humans have always used about 100 watts of power. That's our natural metabolic rate.
But in our developed technological society, we use over 10,000 watts of power per person.
Humans' use of energy is
I'm awake.
not actually a bad thing.
We live in an era of dynamism and
we
growth.
live in a society.
There are so many good things that happen when we use energy.
Think about technology,
What?
transportation, hospitals, data.
As humans, we are at our best when we are inventing, when we are growing, when we are making progress.
But humans are doubling our energy use every 25 years, and that's unsustainable. Today, you could cover all of humanity's energy needs by covering the state of Nevada in solar cells. But at that rate of growth, in 200 years, you'd have to cover the entire planet in solar cells.
There's this thing
What
that they
can we
invented
do?
in
Can we be more
1945
efficient?
that can really fix
Yes,
this
but
problem.
we have been.
No?
Today's technology is more efficient
Okay.
in nearly every manner.
We are gaining efficiency. And
Yeah,
yet,
no.
when we gain more
There's this-
efficiency,
there's this thing.
what do?
We use more energy.
We have an ever-increasing demand for more energy.
That's
So what if we just use
Discovery,
less?
go and throttle up.
Well, that doesn't work either. Throttling energy use means slowing down progress. You stop living in a world of abundance and you move to a world of scarcity and rationing.
There has
Yeah.
to be another way.
Yeah,
There
I
is
agree. There's another way.
Space.
There's this thing that they invented a little while back by superheating
Space is full of abundant resources
radioactive
and
isotopes
energy.
to critical mass
Space is
instantly,
vast and practically limitless.
turns out they release a lot of
We
energy
can learn
when
to
that
harness
happens.
the power of space and the resources of space. We can tap the limitless resources to help preserve this planet.
Yeah, we could do that too. This is
We can
pretty
go
cool.
to space for what we need. We'll make it routine,
What?
safe, and cost-effective to get there.
Okay.
We will build the rockets and the destinations for doing real work in space.
We can do even more than this. We can move the most polluting industries from Earth into space where they can't hurt the Earth or the environment.
We can return Earth to a beautiful natural state. It will be like a garden, like a national park, a place for education, for creativity, and for recreation. A place for enjoyment and for nature to thrive. In space, we can expand humanity.
We don't want to leave Earth behind, but preserve it and expand humanity into space.
We can have 1 trillion humans in the solar system, which means we'd have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. This would be an incredible civilization.
Humanity will grow and progress and use energy for good.
Humanity can expand into the solar system by building destinations close to Earth, close to our home planet.
New places. Places we haven't even dreamed of yet.
Places that feel like home.
Like places with
Places
moose.
where great work can be done using the resources of space. An expanse that is meant for everyone, all kinds of people.
This is a hopeful future. An enduring human presence in space. Space is the long-term solution for Earth.
I mean, yeah,
We're
they're not
a
wrong.
critical part of the infrastructure that's going to allow others to unlock
the road to space so that future generations can unleash their creativity.
It won't be easy. Space must become much, much more accessible to make this vision a reality.
Big things start somewhere, and that somewhere happens to be today.
There are certain gates we have to go through, certain prerequisites. If we don't do these, we will never get there.
First, we have to radically lower the cost of access to space.
This means reusable rockets.
We have to get really good at using rockets over and over.
Reusable rockets,
Resonant.
reusable engines.
Once you learn how to do that, you can basically start spinning this flywheel where the more you fly, the cheaper it gets. The cheaper it gets, the more you fly.
Good, man.
Launch, land, repeat.
Going back and landing a rocket is really hard. And it is absolutely essential that we get good at that so that we can drive down the cost of launch vehicles.
BE3,
Dude,
BE4,
I'm so cooked
BE7,
right now, AP.
all made
So
from the ground
bad,
up
dude.
to be reusable propulsion systems.
So bad.
Operational reusability. That means making space travel as routine as air travel is.
This is what will radically bring down the cost of getting to space.
And we are bringing all of that learning to New Glenn, the next step of building the road to space.
It's a SpaceX.
Once you have low-cost access to space, the next gate becomes harnessing the resources of the solar system.
There are so many more resources up there in space than there is on our planet.
I mean, everyone's familiar with this idea of locally sourced goods, and this is just a really extreme version of that.
I need my locally
Moon is
sourced
where
moon
we'll learn
rocks.
to do all this.
The moon
Yeah,
has
see?
a vast
See?
quantity
They
of
do too.
resources.
And if we can learn to harness those resources, we can travel without stressing the Earth.
That's the goal.
Harness
We'll go
the
to space,
resources
and
of
we'll
the
use its
checklist.
resources to power transportation and build destinations.
Anything
Oh
we
my
need,
god.
we will use the stuff in space to make it happen.
The moon is the next thing. We're going back.
It's time to go back to the moon.
We
This
gotta
time to
align with the
stay.
moon, Umenji. Gotta align with it. We gotta be in direct line with the panometric fan.
Make no mistake about this. This is not going to get done by any one generation. One of the things that we have to do is inspire those future generations.
Yeah. Yeah.
This vision of millions of people living and working in space for the benefit of Earth is a very, very
Hackaday.
long-term vision.
It's gonna
Nope.
take generations.
We have to make sure that what we're doing today is setting up the next generation.
It's going to
Sorry
take
about that.
all kinds of people.
Engineers, entrepreneurs,
Don't lick me stuff.
architects,
Too tired.
artists, you, your children, your grandchildren.
And your grandchildren
This is
much
kind of
later.
Humanity's cathedral. You know, cathedrals took multiple generations of artisans and craftsmen and masons to build. And there was never the expectation that one person would design and fully execute the vision.
We have to inspire the next generation to carry this torch for the benefit of Earth.
I mean,
For
I
the
want an
benefit of
O'Neill
Earth.
cylinder. That'd be
For
pretty
the
cool.
benefit of Earth.
We are Blue Origin.
And we will do all of this.
We'll do all of this.
For the benefit of Earth.
Hope you're well. Yeah, I'm not.
such an inspiring message. You know, actually our very name, Blue Origin, means Earth, right? So, you know, when our future generations are out there looking back, they will look back at their blue origin, at Earth, right? And so we really need to protect this planet. The other reason why I love our name Blue Origin is it means Earth. It means all of us. We are building these really cool, you know, pieces of space technology, not only just for one country, not only for one hemisphere, it really is for the entire world. And that's why, you know, I love
what do they mean by that?
That our company has this bigger, broader vision. You know, actually, before I took my current role, I was leading our commercial and international sales. And it was just really nice to get out there and talk to our international customers and people from around the world in the space industry. I should say a big shout out to them out there if you guys are watching. You know, and really talking to them about whether it's New Glenn or Blue Ring
for the 6th
or
time, T-minus 20
Lander,
minutes.
what they can do and how they can take advantage of our technologies. I just love that we think broadly like that, and it's one of the many things that's
Red
that's kept me here
Departure
at Blue.
Origin Edition.
But I also want to talk, you know, obviously the main
Pog's
theme of
only
that
20
video
minutes away.
there is this idea that as part of the long-term vision, we really need to protect this planet. And the role of space technologies, what we're doing at Blue and what other organizations are doing around the world is so important because it is going to help protect Earth, right? And that's also why we start with reusable rockets and reusable rocket engines and the way that we're designing them to run on propellants that are less
propellant
harmful
topping.
to the Earth, like liquid oxygen,
So,
liquid hydrogen.
yeah, they can keep the
LNG,
temps
we were just talking
pretty
about
good
that
while it's
earlier.
attached to the pad.
It's just so important.
It gives me
They have
such a
enough
sense of pride
yeah,
because
they're good.
it really is about the everyday work that we do now and how that would impact future generations. So all of this is going to create a longer term impact on Earth that's truly going to benefit humans for future generations. By focusing on this sustainability of our designs, we're really ensuring that our advancements in space technology do not come at the expense of our home planet.
Appreciate
Earth.
the support, buddy.
You know, a couple of minutes ago, we threw it back to our co-host Eddie out there at Cars Park, and again, talking about the multiple generations. How cool is it that he was there with the father-son pair that both work at Blue, plus the son's daughter that's there, and she's just going wild over space, and she can't wait to see, you know, this rocket launch. We have to think in that sort of generational time scale, right? There's also, you know, our teammate that's up in launch control, whose grandfather worked, you know, on Apollo, and here she is, you can see she's pregnant in the photo. Like, who knows what her child is going to end up doing? And hopefully, what we're doing here at Blue is going to benefit, again, these next generations. We're building the road to space with these first initial steps tonight. You know, New Glenn. We're also talking about Blue Ring. Blue Ring is one of the first building blocks of the infrastructure that's up there in space, right? It's not just about the transportation, which is crucial, don't get me wrong, but then once we're up there, you know, we're gonna need to support others, you know, in this case, you know, our customers, but also ourselves, when I say ourselves, Blue Origin and some of the missions we're doing, as we build our capabilities out there. By definition, space is infinite. And so if we can take advantage of that, and if we can put things up there that will help us take advantage of that, I mean,
for the benefit of Earth.
For the benefit of Earth.
For the benefit of Earth.
Okay, with that, we are T-minus 16 minutes and 40 seconds to go until launch. Our teams continue to get aligned. They're working on a couple of issues. This is our first launch. They need that extra time. We're going to give it to them because otherwise speaking, this team is ready to rock and roll, and that rocket there looks chilled in and ready to go to space. So with that, let's continue to check out New Glenn on the pad, ready for NG1.
It was supposed to launch at 1 in the morning, Martin. It is now 3 in the morning, Martin. Your boy has not slept in 2 days, Martin. And, yeah, no. I should have known better. This is totally my fault. I wonder how Jack's doing over on his end. Let me shoot him a DM real quick. I need help. He's still doing it. Yeah, he's still there. Wait, did we pass a reset time? The lowest I've seen the count go is like 11 minutes, username. Refresh. You're about 10 seconds behind. No, I don't want to. I'll fast forward. Prepare to fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir. Fast forwarding. Go away, caveman. How long is the launch window? There's an hour left in the launch window. Hurry up so you can see the delay quicker. Yeah, we gotta hurry up and stop. $14 minutes. It doesn't smell at all, level 1. How many more delays do you got into? Well, if it delays 2 more times, Gabe, it ain't launching, because that's the end of the launch window. I'm going to bet that they'll scrub it probably a little bit further into the count this time. You know, I saw somebody say T-minus 8 minutes. I'll say T-minus 9 minutes, okay? What time is it for me? It's 2 in the morning. Trying to stay awake by moving my feet, man. What's going on? What the hell? I missed it. I hate all of you. Did I just say that out loud? Oops. And we have liftoff. Yeah, that's it. They axed the clock completely. The guys, I'll bet you they're gonna scrub. Like right now, username? Dude, that clock is like, yeah. No, we'll see, Wraith. We'll see. Now I'm invested. Now I'm invested, dude. It's all right, Ben. This has been the low taper freight of streams, dude. It's true, Priest. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yard, if that happens, I'm going to laugh, dude. DJ with the 5th wind. It really is, man. Boss, I've not slept, but I can see Starship over there, so it's out the window. So, yeah, that's pretty good, man. Guys, I'm thinking because the clock hit 0 and they kept it at 0 for a little while, I'm thinking somebody just straight up said, somebody straight up pulled the plug. They're probably just coordinating with the hosts now to, for a message. No, this won't be expended, Pythos. It's going to land on, or it's supposed to land on Blue Origin's landing platform vessel 1 named Jacqueline. It's about 623 kilometers downrange. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, hold up. Is that doing that? NSF showed T-minus 23 minutes. What NSF is probably showing you is the last launch attempt that they could do within the window. Well, we're waiting on a word, Starlulls. You know what? You know what's just going to make this really suck even more? You know what's going to make this suck the most? I'm going to get second wind. And they'll scrub. And then I'm going to be up for like another 3 or 4 hours because I'm like, I'm good. It's going to suck. I can see it. It's going to happen, man. It's gonna
Discovery, go and throttle up.
It's gonna happen. WD-40, thank you for the raid, dude. You gave up. You threw in the towel, dude. When is the next launch window? Well, oh no. It's gotta be. It can't be Wednesday. It can't be Wednesday. The Blue Ghost mission is going off that day. I'm stuck. I'm not getting out of Texas, am I? Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh, I'm so boned. I guess I'm a Texan now. I tell you what. San Francisco sure is a pretty city. Oh no. Oh God. Okay. I'm all right. Yeah, I guess so. Were you under the impression we'd let you leave? Yeah, Bill. I think he's right. For what it's worth. It's late at night, the count's reset, and here we is in Texas yet. Oh my gosh. So that means it's not coming on then? No, it's not coming on, Jason. The count has been scrubbed from the screen 4 times. Why are they taking so long to announce it? It's a good question. Back in the older days, this is how people stayed in places. Went somewhere and just got stuck there. Howdy, y'all. Get a dog, little longie. Get a dog. Up. Blue's employee is now tweeting Skirb. Skirb. It is a nice looking rocket, though. Well, it's the beginning of Monday workday in Scotland. Is this thing going to go? Overcourt, I don't think so. I don't think so, mate. Seriously. Confirmed on X from Blue. It's a scrub. Let me just make sure. Oh.
Okay, we've just been getting an update from Mission Control. We are standing down today's launch attempt to troubleshoot a vehicle subsystem issue that will take us beyond our launch window. We are reviewing opportunities for our next launch attempt. So we've scrubbed today's NG-1 mission to give the team more time to work that issue, and we're reviewing what other things that we might need to get done in that period. When we know when the next opportunity is, of course, we will let everybody know. Now, to give the viewers a sense of what happens next, the launch team is now working to detank and safe the vehicle. From there, we're going to assess, as mentioned, what are the things we might want to get done in our downtime, and that is what's going to guide when the next launch opportunity will be. Follow us on social media. That's the way to stay up to date on announcements for that next launch attempt. We do want to thank you for joining us. We can't wait to get back here for our next launch attempt. Stay tuned. Gradatum Ferociter.
Yeah. All right. Zip it in and zip it out. So, good night. Good night. I'm going to sleep. Guys, all right, I'll say the bit. It's the first attempt for a launch for a new vehicle. This stuff happens. I mean, I don't know why I expected anything different, but it is what it is, dudes. Yeah, but we'll be back whenever that next coverage happens. Yeah, we'll be back, and it should be a good time. Hey, I'm just happy I made it, Artyom. And I didn't get second wind. So, I'm still tired, and I'm going to sleep for a little while. But, yeah, anyway. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you guys all whenever. We'll see what happens, okay? Follow us on all of our social medias. You don't have to. Just find me here. You know where to find me. You know where to find me. All right, you got to come here. You want to get the good streams. You know where to find me, chat, okay? You know where to find me. All right. We found you. Enjoy rockets. Low taper fade. Remember that, Ben. Okay. Now, yeah, so if you're just tuning in, guys, New Glenn scrubbed after like 4 or 5 attempts in a row. Didn't like it, but they'll figure it out. They'll fix it, and we'll see it launch. It'll be good. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. I'll talk to you guys all. I'm not sure if we'll stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.